Dear students, welcome to the course of Essence of Indian Traditional Knowledge. Today's topic Yajurveda and Atharva Veda. In the previous lecture, we have covered out of four Vedas, we have covered the first two. First one is the Rig Veda, and second one is the Sama Veda. These two we have covered, and today we are going to look into Yajurveda and Atharva Veda, the brief details of these topics. After completion of this topic, you will be able to classify the forms of Yajurveda and you will be able to illustrate the significance of Atharva Veda. Yajurveda. The word Azur comes from the Sanskrit root Yaz, which means to worship or to sacrifice. Whereas we already know the word Veda aroused from the root Vid, which means to know. Which means to know. So together, Yajurveda means the knowledge of worship or the knowledge of sacrifice. It contains hymns that were used in the performance of yajna, a fire sacrifice known as fire sacrifice and other rituals. The mantras in Yajurveda are not just for recitation, that is not for just reading, but for practical use in the performance of rituals. So, whereas the mantras in the previous two Vedas, that is Rig Veda and Sama Veda, the hymns which were provided are for the purpose of guidance or that were for the purpose of chanting mostly for the purpose of chanting during the rituals. But whereas the mantras in Yajurveda are not just for recitation or chanting, but for the sake of practical use in the performance of the rituals. So it is considered, this Yajurveda is considered as the manual of the rituals. So how to perform the rituals will be texted in this Veda, that is Yajurveda. Coming to a few more details of Yajurveda, actually it is divided into two parts. One part is known as Krishna Yajurveda, other part is known as Shukla Yajurveda. In normal terms, in modern English, we say Krishna Yajurveda as black Yajurveda and Shukla Yajurveda as the white Yajurveda. So what they contain, the same what we have discussed, the mantras which are not only to be read or recited, they are to be practiced. That is the manuals of these rituals, how to perform the rituals. The manuals will be contained in Krishna Yajurveda in the form of both mantras and also explanations for those mantras. But whereas in Shukla Yajurveda, we contain only the mantras, we doesn't have any explanations. Yajurveda also consists of knowledge about the nature of the divine, which is very important, the universe, and the human being. These are the few details about Yajurveda. Let us have a look at a few details of Atharva Veda, that is our last and fourth Veda out of the four Vedas we have, Atharva Veda. So the word Atharva comes from again the Sanskrit root Atharvan. This Atharvan has not got a specific meaning, but it is the name of a priest of the sacred fire. Or we can say Atharvan as the performer of magical spells. What is meant by this magical spell? We will see at the end of this slide. Again, we know the word Veda comes from the root Ved, which means to know. So, together, Atharva Veda means the knowledge of the Atharvan priest, that is, who is called as sacred fire, or the knowledge of magical spells. So, what is meant by a magical spell here? Magical spell is a set of words or actions that are believed to have supernatural power to cause a specific effect or outcome. So, this may be looking very typical to the modern world. That is what we say magical spell does not have any scientific evidence. That is, magical spell is not supported by any scientific evidence and it is considered as a form of superstition. So here consolidatedly we can say through this slide, Atharva Veda is a combination of the knowledge of Atharvan priests or the knowledge of magical spells, where this magical spell can be treated as a superstition as it doesn't contain any scientific evidence. Let us have few more details about Atharva Veda. The Atharva Veda contains a hymns. In the previous topic, we have said hymns, otherwise related to as poems, that were used to ensure the protection of the individual and the community. So, whatever the poems or the texts inscribed in Atharva Veda are related to how an individual need to be protected and how a community need to be protected. It also consists of hymns that were poems that promote health, prosperity, and happiness, which are the three most important aspects of human life. So, the poems which are to be here in Atharva Veda, these hymns or mantras or poems, all means one and the same, will be focusing mostly on the promotion of health, prosperity, and happiness. Finally, it also contains hymns or poems that describe the nature of universe and the human being. See, almost all Vedas they not only give the procedures for conduction of any rituals from life starting to ending, but also they will describe all the natural activities starting from the universe towards a small germ on this world. These are few details about Atharva Veda. With this, we complete all the four Vedas briefly. Here are few lecture level questions for you to answer based on this topic. You can go through these from our CDT summary. And if you have any thing to be extended, you can refer to the prescribed textbooks that were presented here. That's all for this topic. Thank you. Happy learning.